last 16 tie between Chelsea and Liverpool, quite arguably the tie of the round. A game that really promises so much. There have been changes afoot for both sides, which I'll talk about in a minute. But a terrific occasion, and Liverpool looking to bounce back in the best possible way. I mean, well, completely, utterly hammered by Watford the other night. Liverpool 3-1, they lost. Chelsea, of course, looking to get back some of their season as well, as they were just waiting on the teams. New Caton's on. Good evening, he says. Good evening to you as well, New Caton. Nice to have you with us. Liverpool, we've covered a couple of rounds, but they are. This is arguably the tie of the round. We should be at Hillsborough tomorrow night for that crucial match between Manchester City and Sheffield Wednesday. You'll be able to hear that one as well with us. There's also going to be updates with two other ties played this evening as well. One of them involving Tottenham Hotspur, and the other one Leicester City. I think is it against Birmingham City? Well, anyway, we'll keep you up to date anyway with what happens there. It's Newcastle West Brom, in fact, the other tie as well. And what atmosphere it's going to be. The other two ties, I should also tell you, is West Brom and Newcastle. That's the other tie, I should tell you, that's taking place. And Reading as well in action in their match as well. That's against Sheffield United. So Reading, Sheffield United, and West Brom against Newcastle. You'll be able to hear there. You'll be able to see updates of those very, very shortly. But the pyrotechnics are already out there. It's almost Ella Molyneux and Wolverhampton Wanderers. There's just an helicopter shot there of it. And what a moment for young Gilmore, number 47. He's going to start this evening's game. Remember, no replays now from now to the end of the competition, where it will. If it's level after 90 tonight, we will need an extra half an hour to hopefully sort things out, and if we can't do that, we will have penalties. Sean Macias is one of the officials in the tunnel. Chris Kavanagh from Manchester is the referee for this one. So the team's about to come out to what sure can only be a cacophony of noise. And here we are. Terrific noise. We've got the crowd noise as well in again tonight. So you're going to get the full FA Cup flavour tonight, guys. I absolutely guarantee it. Well, it's Cup Fever on this channel this week. Sunday we brought you the late commentary of a classic Carabao Cup final between Manchester City and Aston Villa, where it went all the way to the end. I'll try not to spoil it if you haven't listened to it already, but it's worth a listen. It's a classic commentary. Frank Lampard's Blue and White Army, a banner in the Matthew Harding stand. The floodlights are temporarily gone off, but that's just pyrotechnics. There's no floodlight failure. The FA Cup always brings out the fans, even in the midweek, and hopefully we'll hit the 700 subscriber. We're on 699, so hopefully we'll get a new subscriber in, and what a way it would be nice to bring up the 700. But it's all about the FA Cup tonight. Let's give you the two lineups. Let's start with Chelsea, of course. So it's Kepa Arrizabalaga in goals, then it's Azpilicueta, Zuma, Rudiger and Alonso across the back. Kovacic and young Gilmore are the two holding midfielders. And then further forward in the midfield, you've got Willian, Barkley and Pedro as a midfield three. And a little big Olivier Giroud will play up front. He turned the tide against Tottenham, you may remember, a couple of weeks ago. Adrian starts in goal for Liverpool, so no Alisson amongst the 18 tonight. Nico Williams, Gomez, Van Dijk the captain, and Robertson on a back four. And Lallana, Fabinho and Jones. Curtis Jones there in the middle of the midfield, and it's Minamino alongside Origi and Mane in a three-man attack. Although Minamino looks as if he's going to play the number 10 role behind Origi and Mane. Well, young Gilmore there with an opportunity to see if he can step up to the plate in Chelsea's first team. Young lad. and a big smile on his face. Chris Cameron is the referee from Manchester. Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal. And yes, I can pronounce his second name properly. Right, let's have a look at the two benches. Willy Caballero, Jorginho, Mount, Batshuayi, Reece James, Tomori and Ajon are the Chelsea substitutes. Lonergan, Milner, Firmino, Salah, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Matip and Trivela are the Liverpool substitutes. There is Chris Cameron, the referee from Manchester. And two managers that are certainly got to be up there with the echelons of the game, modern game. Jurgen Klopp. He's been a manager now for over 10 years. Started out his career at Mainz, then came to Borussia Dortmund where he had great success, won the German double in 2012, and he's won the European Cup with Liverpool only last season. He's made them club world champions for the first time ever, the second time in fact. And away we go then. Liverpool in bed attacking the Matthew Harding stand away to my right hand side. The true flavour of the FA Cup. Last night I was in the Trevor Sports commentary box commentating on his version of the FA Cup. Tonight it's back to the day job for me. Chelsea all in blue with white socks, and they're attacking the goal to our left, and I'm bowling the ball forward again. And of course, as it always is for all our live matches, you guys can get involved. JB man of the match coming up a bit later as well, to say nothing. And already Mane has dispossessed Kurt Zouma there, and there's the crossing there from Williams in towards the penalty area, headed away again by Chelsea. And already Liverpool looking to bounce back in the most positive way you can imagine after a horrible defeat it was to be said against Watford when they lost 3-0. And it could have been 5 or 6 in fairness, having seen the game back on television, on the television highlights on Saturday. It was almost men against boys, and it was Watford playing like the men on that occasion. And you know, it's not often we can say that Liverpool had a bad night at the office. Good on Mr. Motson and Mr. Gubber. Anyway, the ball played in there towards Mane from the left-hand side. It's turned away for the first corner off Kurt Zouma. Just remind you, if you don't need reminding already, it's got to be decided on the day. And of course, we'll keep you abreast with West Brom Newcastle as well, as the cross comes in from the far side. Arrizabalaga takes it. We've got ready against Sheffield United at the Majerski Stadium. And West Brom Newcastle taking place at the moment, and I'm sure Luke Caton and Co will keep you up to date, and we'll let you know. And of course there's the Edinburgh derby up in Scotland in the Scottish Premier League, Hibernian against Hearts. That's the fields of Anfield. It's being played out in the shed end away to my left hand side. You can probably hear it being shouted out or sung quite passionately. Liverpool have brought a lot of fans down. I have to question it being an away game. This is Origi though. Minamino has given him that possession, and in goes Lallana, crosses it back there. Mane's in outside the area. Mane shoots right footed, and he hits it straight at Arrizabalaga, who fumbled it initially, and then managed to hang on a second time as Minamino was closing in on the follow up and the rebound. Kurt Zouma with it was Rudiger, with a terrible ball away which hit Minamino. Lallana went down the left, got a cross back, and then Mane with the left foot, having controlled it initially, got his shot off, and it was fumbled by Arrizabalaga. And it's Liverpool now making all the running, and here is Nico Williams, and Williams' cross from the right is headed away by Rudiger. And Giroud having to get back there for Chelsea. It's been a good start from the side that are sure going to be champions-elect in the Premier League. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They need a dozen points to make that dream a reality for the first time in over 30 years. Maybe Watford on Saturday was just probably one game too far for the Liverpool side, who have just really run themselves daft. Here's Pedro into the penalty area from the left-hand side, turned away brilliantly by the Mr. Consistency of Mr. Van Dijk. 4 minutes gone then at Stamford Bridge, FA Cup 5th round. Played to a finish this evening. Here's Rudiger now for Chelsea. It's a long ball forward towards the left-hand side, and it's Marcus Alonso, who, when we last saw him, when we last covered him, Sean Macialis tags him offside. He got stupidly sent off a week ago in that Champions League game, you may remember. A week ago, we were here exactly 1 week ago for that, for really what was a dire Chelsea performance against Bayern Munich in the European Champions League. Really were, they really were all over the place in that game, and I have to tell you that it wasn't a great performance, and Chelsea they didn't put in a great display against Bournemouth, although they did get a point out of it, although Lampard felt at the end he should have had all three. Still hanging on to 4th place, but Manchester United now starting to purr a little bit now with Bruno Fernandes in their side. So that 4th place is still Chelsea's, but United will be absolutely up for this now, as Ross Barkley takes it out over there on the far side. Manchester United got a derby, as well as a chance here for Pedro, edge of the area, and he goes in, and a terrific challenge there by Nico Williams, as Pedro, who's vastly experienced at top level football with his days of course at Barcelona behind him. It's easy to forget that he was in a Barcelona team with Lionel Messi and all that. As that ball comes into the penalty area. Oh, and a chance there at the far post. I think it might have been Rudiger actually sliding in there as that corner came in from the left-hand side. There's the flick on. I think it was Gilmore who got the header in, was it? No, it was Azpilicueta, sorry. Giroud was in there, and so too was Rudiger. Genuine chance that for Chelsea. Still 0-0 if you joined us late. Marnie's had a chance for Liverpool, and Chelsea have just flicked one just wide. Luke Caton's reporting on the West Brom match. Of course, that's his dad's side. They're playing Newcastle, who we saw in that replay against Oxford, you may remember, just over 3 weeks ago. And a terrific replay it was, and a great game for us to cover. We've chosen some really good cup ties again this season in this season's FA Cup. And this one certainly hot enough to be one of those classics. And Russ Vernon will be covering the events down at Reading. Of course, Sheffield United, a local side to him in terms of location, but they're away in Berkshire tonight, and they'll be keeping away. And Sue's on. Good evening, he says, now as the ball comes to Adrian. Evening all, she says. By the way, you and Russ did a great job on the Trevor Sports Match of the Day programme. Well, thank you, Sue. It's been great. I must admit, it's sort of like an ambition achieved for me, and it's been really good to see. It's good to see that the feedback from mine and Russ's debut on the Trevor Sports version last night was warmly received, and we thank everyone for that. Anyway, here's Origi to the penalty area. Marnie goes down. Now then. Is that a penalty? VAR is in operation. I don't know who the VAR referee is, so I'll have to ask Russie who the VAR ref is, because I couldn't get any info for it when I was building up to this game this afternoon. But there was the chance. Well, slight push there by Alonso, but Origi again, good crossing from the left-hand side. Well, it hasn't gone to VAR, and the ball is with Adrian, who just hits the ball forward. I'll tell you what, it's a rip-roaring cup tie. Here's Gilmore. Big night for him. Of course, we'll be at... we'll actually be in Yorkshire tomorrow. We'll be at the other Sheffield club. We'll be at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday against Manchester City. Fresh from that 2-1 success against Aston Villa in the League Cup final, and a dramatic game as well. And if you haven't listened to it already on the JB Quiet YouTube channel, listen again because it's a fantastic match. Here's Marnie inside the area. Marnie now, can he get it off on his right foot? No. Good covering back from Kurt Zuma. Here's Nico Williams down the right. Hits the defender, Alonso rather, and it's a corner, or throw in, sorry, down on the near side. Nico Williams to take. Edge of the penalty areas. Edge of the Chelsea penalty area. And now the ball is with Gilmore up towards Barkley. And I do say it is a Liverpool game. I do apologise for the title. Here's Pedro going forward. We are live with Chelsea against Liverpool. We'll try and amend the title at half time. In fact, we'll try and amend it now if we can. Sometimes you get these things completely wrong, and we're racing against the time. Racing against time to get in on. Here's Barkley, 25 yards from goal. Oh, the goalkeeper didn't grab it all that well, and in the end, that could have been catastrophic again. As the ball comes away once more. That could have been catastrophic again. As the ball comes away once more. Still 0-0, remember. Just to remind you, as I say, under 90 minutes, we'll go if it's level, and it's still level after that. It will be penalties. And we're just going to try and quickly change the title because I know you guys. You guys are just. We'll try and. You're missing nothing, by the way. It's still 0-0, but there's genuine excitement here. And it's Pedro for Chelsea. I will change the title in a minute. Pedro coming charging forward into Giroud. Pedro tries the shot. He deflects, and Williams on the far side. Oh, tremendous save! Tremendous save by Adrian. It was going into. It was Williams hit that right foot on the far side like a rocket, and Adrian got a hand down and made a magnificent save. And now Chelsea at the other end, and it's gone in! It's a mistake by Adrian, and Willian has scored, and Liverpool, the champions-elect, are 1-0 down in the FA Cup against Chelsea. Willian with the shot. They were coming off a replay as the shot came in, but we saw the end where Willian shot. I'm not sure if it was a right-footed shot or a left-footed shot. It was Adrian's ball. This is what actually happened. Nico Williams trying to play the ball back, and then a really poor piece of play by Bavino. There's the right foot shot, and through the goalkeeper it goes and into the right-hand corner. Well, Liverpool looking to bounce back in the best positive way from a real disastrous defeat at Watford on Saturday night. Well, they couldn't have done much worse than that, could they? 1-0 to Chelsea, and Frank Lampard's men have given themselves a real shot in the arm with this one. I do apologise, it's Real Madrid Manchester City. We are going to change the title in a second. When it is 1-0 to Chelsea, we are live with Chelsea Liverpool. And that's what we've got. I'm just waiting to change the title. If you're missing anything at the moment, I do apologise. It's 1-0 to Chelsea. I do apologise, as I said, for the title, but we'll try and get that remedied. At the moment, it's 1-0. And, well, we're watching that. Chelsea won another corner. We'll just watch this corner, then change the title. I do apologise if we got the wrong two teams, but it's the two teams, clubs that are pictured here that you're listening to. Chelsea and Liverpool. Chelsea won up in the FA Cup 5th round, sponsored of course by Emirates, and it's going to be a corner. We'll discuss that tomorrow, Ross. Here comes the corner into the penalty area. Again, the goalkeeper flapped at it, and here comes Pedro for Chelsea. Ball's back again. Pedro takes possession, finds Alonso. And Kovacic now, looking to get Chelsea moving once again. As soon as the ball goes out of play, we'll quickly change the title of the video. As the ball comes in, Pedro takes it on his chest, then headers the ball. Left hand side, Chelsea in good position. Kovacic again. Thought he might have had it with the right foot, and now Gilmour with a slip there, and Liverpool win possession with Curtis Jones, and it's a little bit of a battle in there. Barkley's won away with it, the former Evertonian. Free kick to Chelsea. With a quarter of an hour gone, a goal in the game at Reading. That's an 8 o'clock kick-off. McGoldrick has scored for Sheffield United, who are having a marvellous season. They've just reached 40 points in the Premier League and are in front through McGoldrick. Reading 0, Sheffield United 1. Reading having gone through those marathon games against Cardiff. Got through on penalties that day. "16 minutes gone of the first half. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0 in this game. As soon as the ball comes out of play, we will change the title of the video. I do apologise to anybody that may be been misguided. I've had a long day. I've had four hours sleep and then work today. So forgive me for being a little bit fatigued. I even fell asleep on a bus back over here and missed a stop and ended up having to rush to the ground. That's how tiresome it's been. Ronaldo is kneeling down behind the wall. I wonder if that's a little tactical play there by Liverpool. Let's see. Willian over it, and so the free kick left-footed. Oh, it's off the crossbar and over. Might have been Alonso with a free kick. It was to the right-hand side. It was a good free kick. The goalkeeper wasn't sure of his bearings. In fact, it just hit the top of the netting and not the crossbar as I initially thought. We're right up in the top of the main stand here at Stamford Bridge. I mean, we got a good view of it, don't get me wrong, but it's quite high up. Right up in the gods here at Chelsea. And we'll just so we're just changing the title now. "1-0 to Chelsea." No, I think you'll find now if you click out, if you refresh the page, you'll get the proper title now. So the title has been changed, and so refresh the YouTube channel, refresh the channel, the stream, and you'll get the proper title back. This was the goal. Why Adrian? I think Adrian went too far there to his right. He knew full well what sin he committed there, and it could cost Liverpool dearly as the ball is knocked forward by Liverpool, but it's out of play for a goal kick. Shame. I was looking forward to Real Madrid in the FA Cup. Hi, Trevor, and thank you very much. Can I just say, Trevor, whilst we got a break in play, Trevor, 1-0 to Chelsea, by the way, with nearly 19 minutes gone. Can I just say, Trevor, thank you very much indeed for giving me and Russ a real opportunity, and it was a real honour to do Match of the Day last night, your supplementary Match of the Day. It was like a sort of an ambition achieved for me. So I'm absolutely thrilled to bits, and I'm glad I got the game I got. I was very happy with the game I was allocated. A great cup tie. You haven't seen his video. Me and Russ are there, and we did a great job. And I have to say, Russ, you did a fantastic job. I think you're made for television more than you are radio. I think you're a very good television type commentator. Right, anyway, back. No problem, Trevor. Anyway, back to the game where I'm back in the day job tonight. We're at Stamford Bridge. Jesse Barcock, I'm man happy. He's a Blues supporter, Chelsea Blue. Here's Lallana now for Liverpool in red. And Nico Williams crossing to the penalty area. Only half away. Chance in there from Minamino. And Marnie's in there. Saved from point by range by Risa Balaga. And again from Risa Balaga. And again from Risa Balaga. Oh my goodness, he made 3 magnificent saves in that goalmouth scramble inside the Chelsea penalty area. And Chelsea with a free kick for a foul of Gilmore. And Jurgen Klopp can't believe it. Kepa Arrizabalaga has lost his place in the league side to Willie Cabinero. Well, here he was at his very, very best. Minamino denied, Mane denied, then Origi denied, and then it was number 48 Jones denied. Wow. Exhilarating 20 minutes here, and I tell you what, if the cup tie keeps up at this pace, a free kick to Liverpool just inside as well. This game is being played at a breakneck speed. 0-0 in the West Brom game. West Brom Newcastle, we'll keep you abreast of that, and of course we've got the Edinburgh Derby as well, which I'll keep you up to date with as well, between Hibernian and Heart of Midlothian. Now VAR, oh now then, decision red card. Now VAR is involved, high foot, and no red card. They were looking for a red card there, Liverpool. I'll need to ask Russ if he can just tell me who the VAR referee is. If you can do that for me, Russ, that would be fantastic. I would like to know who the VAR ref for this game is at Stockley Park. Because whilst I was trying to research this game, I could not find anywhere that gave me the information for the VAR tonight. Meanwhile, Williams trying to keep it in play, and it's Pedro now hooking it away, and Liverpool win possession. They're 1-0 down. Chelsea may be a tad fortunate to be 11 men. Remember, Alonso got sent off here a week ago in that European Cup tie against Bayern Munich, which you heard on this YouTube channel. It was one of the most dismal performances of the season. Now, this is a good, interesting stat. This season, scoring first, 26 games played, 18 won when they've scored the first goal, drawn 7 of them, and only lost 1, and that was against Manchester City, I might add. Liverpool have possession now. VAR is Andre Mariner of Birmingham. Thank you very much. I can make a note of that. (1-0) to Chelsea. 23 minutes almost gone. Halfway through the first half. Live FA Cup football commentary here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Tomorrow, with a bit of luck, we'll have Sheffield Wednesday against Manchester City for you from Hillsborough. Here's Joe Gomez now. VAR, VAR Vroom. Yeah, if only Thierry Henry was our VAR man, eh? He'd have the VAR Vroom. Right, anyway, back to the game. And here's Pedro. He goes down. A little bit in instalments than anything else, but, well, there you go. Cup ties that never seldom disappoint. Anyway, here's Lallana inside the area. Gets it down to the right. Mane with a crossing from the byline. There's half an appeal for handball against Marcos Alonso. I wonder if that will be another VAR job. 24 gone, Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. Liverpool have a corner. As things stand at the moment. It's going to be taken by Fabinho, who actually he was the man who actually gave the ball away, which led to the goal. Into the penalty area it goes. Went through a crowd of bodies, and it comes to Lallana here. Fabinho is still on the right. He prods the ball towards the far side, where Divock Origi tries to chase it, and Origi gets the ball away. And the ball across into the penalty area towards Virgil van Dijk of all people, who stayed forward for the original corner, and now he's out of position if Chelsea play it right, but they had everybody back. The trouble was they had everybody back, and the ball in fact is with Joe Gomez back to Adrian. And depending on, well, Ross's game will be Derby Manchester United, hopefully with other commitments. The Wayne Rooney derby. Wayne Rooney against his former outfit, and that should be a crackeroonie. I think the draw's on Wednesday. I think the draw's tomorrow night as well. And we'll all be giving Russ's channel, if he does it, a real view. And it'd be nice to have a night off from, because we've got a, as I say, we've got a real. I think we've got two of the best ties of the round tonight and tomorrow anyway. Of course, no doubt we'll have we'll be having updates from the Spurs match as well. Still 0-0 in the game between West Brom and Newcastle, as I understand it. As the ball played in there towards Giroud, and then the shot from Kovacic, right-footed, a little bit tamely along the ground, and that was an easy gabber there for Adrian in goal. Still 0-0. Nick Caton's dad is a West Brom fan, so he'll be cheering the Albion on. Meanwhile, Liverpool have a player down on the far side. It's Divock Origi over there. In a little bit of a tangle there with Cesar Azpilicueta. Yeah, it took him from behind there, the Chelsea captain. Chris Kavanagh, the referee, having Azpilicueta a stiff talking to. No yellow card. I don't know, more of a foreign referee might have taken a much dimmer kind of view of that. You compare the you can compare the type of refereeing in the Champions League the other week to the type of refereeing we're seeing in the domestic English game, and foreign referees are not scared to clamp down with yellow cards for tackles like Azpilicueta's a few minutes ago. Here's Lallana into the area again. Another appeal for handball as Nico Williams tries an audacious left-footed strike from just outside the penalty area on the just to the left of the D, or to the right of the D I should say. 27 minutes gone. It's a goal kick to Chelsea, who lead Liverpool in this fifth round of the FA Cup by 1-0. Got to be decided tonight. No replays now from now on in the this season's FA Cup competition. It's straight knockout all the way. I think the fifth round draw may be tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll get Russ to check that for us as well, our man in the know. He's also our Mo, and a pretty damn good commentator as well. Got a face for television, that lad. Anyway, here's Fabinho for Liverpool, chipping it towards Origi. Half cut out by Azpilicueta. Probably a bit fortunate not to see a yellow card. Personally, I go for the referees in the Aldershot District League for the big games. Sixth round draw, that's what I meant, sixth round draw. I've got fifth round on the brain. The fifth round of the fixtures that are taking place this week. Still don't agree with the decision for them to play cup ties in the midweek. I'm a big advocate of weekend cup tie football, I've got to be honest. But what it does do is, it's a good job they're not playing them to this weekend, because I wouldn't have had any chance of covering any of them, because my day job once again is calling. You can get away with anything. Well, when I played a few years ago. I bet you. Now then, I'd like to know what position you played, Trevor, for a few years ago. Anyway, here comes Chelsea here. Pedro from Giroud's pass, left-hand side. Back inside to Alonso. Alonso tries the left-footed shot. Now it comes to Barkley. And now Willian inside the area. If I can stay down, no offside. Oh, he is offside. He is offside. Oh, substitute. You weren't a substitute. I bet you're an handy little midfield dynamo, Trev. I bet you were. I could just see you as sort of a Glenn Hoddle type player. And then centre forward. Right, you centre forward then. Yeah, the latest score flashing up on my monitor. Still Reading 0, Sheffield United 1. It's 0-0 in the other game, by the way. We'll check. We'll also check on in a minute or two once we might get a little bit of a break in play. The score in the Edinburgh Derby. Well, you can watch that game on BBC's website. In fact, if you want to watch the West Brom game but listen to the commentary of ours, you can do. You can watch the West Brom game on the BBC Sport app. As the ball comes in, and a good save, and Williams fires the rebound over. Good save again by Arisa Balaga. Teddy Sheringham all day. Nothing wrong with Teddy, great footballer. It's Sadio Mane who had the first effort, right-footed, sorry, and then the ball. That's Mane. Decent save by Arisa Balaga. Chelsea just slipping dangerously with half an hour gone. As Arisa Balaga, who's having a fine game in them Chelsea goals, he might be a candidate for our JB man of the match as we go into the second half. Russ Burnham says the 6th-round draw will take place at 9:50 tomorrow, following the Sheffield Wednesday games, and we'll bring you that draw live. If it doesn't go to penalties, of course. And that will be with Mark Chapman and guests. 16 attempts on goal. JB, you do pick them well. Well, we always pick the best games. I think out of the 52 minutes, I think we've had 52 games this season live on the YouTube channel in the whole season across 5 different competitions, Trevor. And I think in that time, I think we've only had 2 0-0s. And the ball into the penalty area almost reached Giroud. And then Nico Williams playing chicky on the edge of his own 6-yard area, almost put through his own net, but managed with his left foot somehow to swing it wide of the far right-hand post and into the and out of play for a corner. I knew I told Jonathan Ross then. White. Anyway, it's a corner. Nico Williams a very lucky boy at the moment. Anyway, here comes the corner. Williams takes short. Referee not happy. I think there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. Luke Caton says his position is a goalkeeper. I used to play goalkeeper because I wasn't good enough to play anywhere else. That's my excuse. Mark Chapman, Martin Keown and Chris Swaddle, the former Burnley manager, will be choosing the numbers. Former Sheffield Wednesday player, of course. Edge of the area, shot from Barkley from the corner, wide of the target, goal kick. Chris Waddle, you mentioned that to Burnley fans, fills them with dread. And I have to say, as a Burnley fan, he almost destroyed us a few years back, 1998. And great player he was. He was a very lousy manager, Chris Waddle. He really was. Almost got Burnley relegated to the 4th tier of English football back in 1998. Only a last day win against Plymouth saved us, and we were in the bottom 4 that day. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, why not make yourself a name and become our 700 subscriber? We're on 699 subscribers. Who's going to be our 700? Make a name for yourself. Can Chelsea make a name for themselves? Ball out towards Kovacic. Oh, he's hit his own man, Barkley, and I think he might have been standing offside. He was. As Kovacic played on, he has put the ball in the net, but the goal does not stand, obviously, because when Barkley hit the ball, or when Kovacic hit the ball against Barkley, He was offside and hence became active. 34 gone, 11 minutes to half time. It's not going Liverpool's way at the moment. They have had chances, but I have to tell you that Kepa Arrizabalaga has played heroically in that Chelsea goal. Chelsea leading for a mistake really from Adrian. William got the goal, right-footed shot from outside the area, and it went through the goalkeeper's hands and into the net. He will not be pleased about that, Adrian. That is a certainty. The Liverpool fans still in good voice, but it's Chelsea that are crowing at the moment. 1-0 they lead. Well, let me just check events up in Scotland. It's 0-0 between Hibernian and Hearts in the Edinburgh Derby. And with a bit of luck, next week we'll have Rangers in Europa League action. We'll go and see Stephen Gerrard's men. It's on the BBC Sport website. Check out. It's on BBC iPlayer. So go on BBC iPlayer and look for the link to the game. There is a link there, or you can watch the game. I think on Facebook. There's a couple of games you can watch tomorrow night on Facebook as well. Not the time that will be coming, by the way. Leicester Birmingham is certainly one of the games that will be featured on the FA Facebook page. Anyway, oh dear me, that's a bad foul there by Marcos Alonso. Remember, he got 2 yellow cards for similar challenges last week in that last 16 Champions League game. Just to remind you, the 2 benches. Well done, Oakley. You become the 700 subscriber. Well done to you. You get an extra special mention because you become our 700 subscriber. And that is a fantastic achievement. Now, let's see if we can get 800 by the end of the season, guys. By the end of the European Championships. Maybe 900, who knows. Free kick to Liverpool. Here's Fabinho with it from the right-hand side. Too close to Arrizabalaga, who tries to... Well, I thought he might have gone and caught that, but he's fisted it out for a throw into Liverpool. If he'd have caught that, he could have caught that, the big Chelsea goalkeeper. Well, it took a lot of pressure off the Chelsea defenders. As it is, Liverpool are coming powering forward once more. So we're on to the 700 subscriber. Thank you very much to Oakley, who's been an absolute star for us. And don't forget, we'll just break off for a second because Liverpool are on the attack. Van Dijk in there and then turned away by Rudiger. And out for a corner for Liverpool. They are knocking on the door, but at the moment they can't beat Kepa Arrizabalaga. I think it might have been Kurt Zuma. Thank you very much, Caton. Thank you very much for that. And Trevor. All loyal subscribers, and all of them are, I should also say, are moderators. And them 3 are on duty tonight. No Panini. Where's Panini gone? Anyway, the ball into the penalty area. He's gone missing as Origi goes missing. He's trying to finish that side foot effort with the right foot. It's gone right into the top tier of the Matthew Harding stand. Actually named after the former Chelsea co-chairman who sadly died 23 years ago in a tragic helicopter crash. He was also a co-chairman in those days with Ken Bates. I'm sure Russ Burnham won't want to thank me for that. They were co-chairman, although there was a lot of squabbling, but Matthew Harding sadly died. Just leave a like, and then if you want to hit the notification bell, there's a bell next to the subscribe. Hit the bell if you want notifications on any live streams that we do in the future. It's easy. It's the easiest thing you'll do all night, I promise you, won't we? Anyway, 1-0 to Chelsea in the FA Cup 5th round. And it's been a classic game with 38 almost and a half minutes gone. A foul there by Sadio Mane on Kovacic. There might be talk about that VAR decision not to send one of the Chelsea players. Trevor will be taking his leave, no doubt, in the bowels of television centre. Of course, he's got Six Nations action. I should also tell you that if you're a rugby fan, the Six Nations is back, not just in real life, We're also on Trevor Sports, and you'll be able to see that on Saturday afternoon. I think it's 12 o'clock. And Reading Sheffield United, if you want to watch, if you're on Facebook, you can watch that as well, but you also listen to us as well. So if you want to keep up to date with both those, Reading Sheffield United, but keep up to date with this game, we're your channel for it. If you don't want to watch it, we can certainly give you commentary of it. If you want to watch the other cup ties that are taking place, Reading Sheffield United on Facebook. Leicester City and Birmingham will be the other tie tomorrow. That was going to be streamed live on Facebook. Meanwhile, Kovacic is down on the floor, heading quite rapidly towards 40 minutes, and we're 40 minutes gone in this first half. Yeah, so Trevor Sports, if you go to his channel, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, have a look at it. And you'll be able to watch his supplementary Six Nations along with other sports. Honestly, it's worth a watch. And me and Russ are now regularly appearing on it as his staff commentators on the match of the day as well. Let's we look at a substitute, and Frank Lampard, who's got injury problems. Well done, Oakley. Well done for subscribing to Trevor. You will not regret it, I promise you. Kovacic seems to, I think his race might be run here with 4 minutes of the first half remaining. I'm pleased to report he's on his feet, but he's moving too cleverly here. Limping at the moment. But the Chelsea fans still in buoyant mood, as you could probably hear in the background here at the bridge. We'll take obviously as we always do in these live games, we'll take a 5 to 10 minute break to get our breath back. And we'll be with you for full second half commentary and of course updates from the other ties. No draw, that takes place after the game at Hillsborough tomorrow, and we'll have that live on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Well, we're going to see Mason Mount here. Kovacic is not going to be lasting the game. He's out for injury. Mason Mount comes on with 3 minutes of normal time remaining in the first half here at Stamford Bridge. London tonight, South Yorkshire tomorrow. 42 gone. Liverpool, the champions-elect, 1-0 down in this fifth round tie. Has to be played to a finish this evening. Yeah, we need a dozen points to be champions of England again. First time in 30 years this will be for Liverpool. Hopefully they won't do it against Burnley later on in the season. Manchester United with a record play on Thursday night in that game against Wayne Rooney and Derby County. Wayne Rooney has been scoring some good goals in the cup run this season. Derby's still on the fringes of the playoffs, incidentally. But at the moment, United going pretty well under Solskjaer now. The wheels are starting to turn on there. Plus, I think Bruno Fernandes they've really found a star in that Bruno Fernandes. I've seen him a couple of times for Manchester United. He's been a very impressive player for Manchester United. Anyway, free kick to Liverpool, deep inside their own half. And now the ball over halfway, and it's Mane who's just taking a bit of a deeper role here as we go into the final couple of minutes of normal time at the end of the first half. Still 1-0 to Chelsea. That goal early doors by Willian. A mistake by Adrian. Nico Williams loses possession. Pedro putting on the afterburners and finding Mason Mount. Mount now goes down the near side, and Mount into was Giroud. And Giroud, a big bulky centre forward, trying to win himself a free kick as well. Ross Vernon will have the match over on his channel on Thursday. We'll have Sheffield Wednesday, Manchester City for you tomorrow. We'll have quarterfinals, semi-finals hopefully, and the final itself either in a live or delayed mode. One way or the other, we will have the FA Cup final on the JB channel. Anyway, back to Elisa Balaga, kicks along inside the final 40 seconds plus any stoppage time that goes on. Willian, the goal scorer on the right hand side for Chelsea. Azpilicueta making a good break as well. This is Mount inside the middle, and a nice ball out to the right again. Willian with the cross in there, and he almost found Mount once more. I'll tell you what, Chelsea are playing with a real swagger. Willian was not offside as that ball was played to him. And Azpilicueta has timed his run to a tee. So too did Andy Robertson, and hooks it out for a throw-in, level with the extra penalty, edge of the Liverpool penalty area on the far side. 2 minutes at the end of the first half, as Ross and the fourth official there have just alerted me to. Good game of football this. One thing's for certain, it won't be ending 0-0. That is a certainty. No doubt about that. 1-0 to Chelsea, but I have to say the real hero for Chelsea has been Kepa Arrizabalaga, with 3, maybe 4 world-class saves from several Liverpool players that have kept Liverpool at bay. This is Willian, the goal scorer, right-hand side. We've almost played the first of the 2 minutes. In towards the penalty area. Olivier Giroud trying to win the ball inside the penalty area. Trying to nod it towards goal, but out of play and behind for a Liverpool goal kick. Jurgen Klopp's men, having lost at Watford on Saturday evening, are losing here on Tuesday night to Chelsea in the FA Cup. It's only 1-0 from the first leg of their last 16 as well against Atletico Madrid. The second leg to come in a week's time at Anfield as Mane goes inside the penalty area. What a good tackle that was. Hopefully next week we'll have Rangers for you in the Europa League, and I'll tell you what, we'd love for you guys to sample Ibrox on a really white hot atmosphere. Steven Gerrard's men going well in Europe, although they had a bad defeat in the Scottish Cup against Hearts on Saturday, which sort of made Steven Gerrard think about whether he should be still in the job at Rangers. I think he's doing an okay job. Nico Williams has given away a 3 kick there for hitting Pedro with about 10 seconds of stoppage time left to play at the end of the first half, and well, it's a game that could have gone either way, but it's Chelsea who are leading it. Williams' goal early doors gave Chelsea the lead. It was a mistake by Adrian which essentially gifted Chelsea the lead, but then Arrizabalaga made 3, maybe 4 excellent saves, and at half time here at Stamford Bridge in this FA Cup 5th round, it's Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. Willian scored the goal scorer after 13 minutes. We're going to take a 10-minute break. I do apologise with Lineker coming on.
It's a brilliant first half.
Here we go. We'll take Lineker off there. We're going to take 5. I'll put you as a moderator a little bit later on, Oakley. I'm just going to take a little break now for 5-10 minutes. Don't worry, the stream will. For those who are not familiar with this, the stream will still run. I'm just switching my microphone off just to get a little bit of refreshment. And at half time here in the FA Cup 5th round, it's going with Chelsea at the moment, but it's a terrific cup tie. Liverpool are still in this game. They're not out of it by any means. And Newcastle have just taken the lead against West Bromwich Albion. Almiron with the goal there. So 1-0 to Newcastle, 1-0 to Chelsea here, 1-0 to Sheffield United. And that's the way things are at the moment. The 2 other games are 8 o'clock kickoffs, I should also tell you. But here in the 7:45 game, live on the GB Claret YouTube channel, it's Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0, and we'll take a 10-minute break. See you then. Welcome back to Stamford Bridge. There's been some goals scored elsewhere. Trevor's predicted the half-time snack. He came close with hula hoops. Flaming hot Wotsits is my choice of half-time snack. I'm actually having fajitas for my tea after commentary. I'm making my brother and I some Old Del Paso fajita kits. I've bought some Old Del Paso fajitas. Gonna have chicken and a few strange concoctions, I can tell you. Anyway, away we go. Because Trevor is a Facebook subscriber, you can also now look at my Bachelor style cooking videos as well. Well worth it. And of course I did a little cheesy video as well. Anyway, enough about my Facebook exploits. We're live here on the YouTube channel. There's been an equaliser at Reading, by the way. Reading 1, Sheffield United 1. That's a half-time score, incidentally. You might recognise the name Puskas. Yeah, not the Hungarian player of the not the famous Hungarian player of the 1950s. But another Puskas who's just equalised for Reading in that game against Sheffield United. It's Reading 1, Sheffield United 1. Puskas with the equaliser. And Newcastle have just gone 2-0 up in their match at West Brom. Almiron with his second goal. Right, it's a goal kick to Chelsea. Ariza Balaga. We've played nearly a minute of the second half. Let's just go through that Chelsea team. Kepa in goal. Aspilicueta, Zuma, Rudiger and Alonso. Mount and Gilmore, the two holding midfielders. Willian, who's got the goal. Barkley and Pedro, the big man midfield. And Giroud up front. Liverpool with their goalkeeper Adrian in goal. Whose mistake has cost Liverpool a goal. But it's Williams, Gomez, Van Dijk the captain and Robertson across the back. Lallana, Fabinho and Curtis Jones, who got the winner in that Merseyside derby. In the midfield, Minamino, the number 10, and Origi and Mane, the two-man attack. So it's practically unchanged, although they have a... Sorry, JB, can't do the West Brom game. No problem, don't worry. Anyway, the ball back to Ariza Balaga. Has it become too painful for you, Newcating? 2-0 down to Newcastle. I'll tell you who was crowing at our time while I was off the air. A certain Mr. Shearer. The reason why he's crowing is that he's been supporting and playing for Newcastle for several years. They've not won a trophy since 1969. In fact, they haven't won the FA Cup, Newcastle, since 1955, since the days of War Jackie Milburn. It shows how long ago that was. Anyway, here's Davis chipping it forward towards chipping it towards Origi. Left hand side of the penalty area. Liverpool attacking the shed in the second half. The shed end, I should say. I don't understand this TikTok nonsense. You're wondering my social media. I have a Facebook companion page, which is at www.facebook.com. I have a personal Instagram page, a Twitter account, and obviously I'm on Snapchat as well, but that's for personal use, not for commentating purposes. And of course I have my own personal Facebook page, but you have to know me. You have to be of a certain standard to get onto mine. But there you go. 12-point lead in January 1996, Newcastle had. Yes, I remember it well, Trev. You were miles off with the champagne. It was a cup of coffee. Because on a hot night like tonight, I don't think champagne's the right sort of football drink, if you know what I mean. I'm more of a 2 mugs of coffee and a 2 mugs of coffee and a Bovril man myself. Might have a bit of champers whilst watching some cricket this summer, but I doubt I'll be having champagne whilst watching football, unless I sneak out of a wedding reception. Would have changed their status if they'd won the league that year. Anyway, meanwhile we're going to see Chelsea make another substitution. Yep. Chelsea have won the cup as recently as 2018 when they beat Manchester United in a very poor final at Wembley. And for those who are wondering where I come from, I'm from Burnley. I was actually born half a mile from Turf Moor, of the his football team I happen to support, Burnley. We're not having a bad season. Just 2 points off 40, and with an outside chance of a European spot. Although from a practical point of view, as we're going to see Jorginho come onto the field as a substitute. Another injury here. This is what Chelsea can ill afford. It's Willian, in fact, the goal scorer, who's going to come off. And Russ Burnham's from Yorkshire. I'm a Lancastrian of many years standing, of 37 years standing, 37 last week. As Jorginho replaces the injured Willian. So Frank Lampard is running out of options, fast running out of options. The injured already lost Kovacic to injury. Now he's lost Willian to injury. The problem for Frank Lampard is you can't really judge him. He's had a decent season now, Frank Lampard and his team. I know they've been a bit inconsistent with the form and that, but they're still in 4th position. And they are still challenging for Champions League. They weren't going to win the league this season with the transfer embargo. I mean, maybe this summer coming might be a game changer for them. But it was always going to be a difficult season, regardless. But they're in with a shout of winning the cup if they can hang on in there and get a good draw in the next round, in the quarter-finals. Who knows? Trevor's from Television Centre, Wood Lane, W12's 7RE. And they made some classics down there before it all was taken over by ITV for their rubbishy daytime schedule. This morning's never been the same since Richard and Judy left. Blue Swimming, you know what I think of them. Them set of liabilities. And of course Piers Morgan and Good Morning Britain. Anyway, enough about ITV. Let's concentrate on the game here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Here's cross coming into the penalty area. Yeah, they made some classics when it was BBC. Grandstand, Match of the Day, Only Fools and Horses. According to popular belief, EastEnders is actually made at Elstree, not Television Centre. Top of the Pots was made there, Blue Peter, Record Breakers with Roy Castle. So many classic BBC programmes. Old Doctor Who studio, of course, Doctor Who, of course, in the days of John Pertwee and Tom Baker and Sylvester McCoy and all that lot. I once resided at Granada many moons ago on their studios. I once went down the old Coronation Street set. I'll tell you what, I used to be a big Corrie fan before they made it all depressed, and yeah, and Top Gear. Yeah, Top Gear. Not been the same. I've sort of moved away from Top Gear since Clarkson left, and I'm enjoying specials on the Grand Tour. They'll be making another special, I think, later this Easter as well. You haven't seen their Christmas special, Clarkson and the gang, Hammond and May, which is Seaman, where they do an epic adventure with a slight difference. It's not a road trip as such, it's a sea trip. They have speedboats and the like. Of course, Jeremy Clarkson doing a good job on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I certainly don't miss Chris Tarrant doing it anyway. Anyway, here's Robertson now for Liverpool. And the reason why we're talking all this gibberish is because all this sort of, well, not gibberish, but all sorts of banter stuff is that there's not been much action in the game so far. So if you think there's any chances, you've not missed anything. 53, nearly 54 gone. Towards Marnie on the edge of the penalty area now then. Chase on for Nico Williams if he can keep it in. The answer is no. And a goal kick to Chelsea. But they've just lost 2 players. Possession's quite interesting. Liverpool have had the lion's share, 58%, compared to Chelsea's 42%. 54 gone here at Stamford Bridge. Live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Live on television on the BBC. And this stream coming to you around the world. This channel has had commentaries heard as far away as New York, Los Angeles. I think the other week we had a guy listening in from Los Angeles, and we've been heard in Japan, Australia. I think we've been heard in over about 30 different countries around the world, which is quite an achievement for a small-time YouTuber with 700 subscribers to his name. Peckham. Yeah, Peckham. Yeah. Peckham Spring Water. I'll never forget that episode of Fools and Horses where he's doing the waterboard out of profit with his Peckham Spring Water. I'll miss old Del Boy in that. And we've got a guy, we're live from New York, Franco Alcantara. Thank you very much indeed for tuning in all the way from New York City. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Anyway, here's Robertson, left-hand side, towards the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. Shot comes in, deflects, Arisa Balaga takes the ball inside the penalty 6-yard area and calms Chelsea's nerves. Who do you support, Franco, all the way from New York? Are you a Premier League fan? Do you like English football? Let me know in the comment section. What team do you like to support, Franco? Nice to hear from you down there in New York City. Well, he's a Liverpool fan, that's for sure. It's nice to have you from New York. 1-0 to Liverpool, 1-0 to Chelsea. Sorry, they're giving you the wrong score. Then here's Andy Robertson. Liverpool trailing 1-0. Anyway, the cross comes into the penalty area. It might break here on the far side, and the ball back across and turned away for a corner. And Liverpool behind that goal is doing well. Craig Gornell, I think he's a Liverpool fan because he's born in St. Helens, but he's in New Jersey, America. Wow, well, we're being heard on the other side of the pond tonight as we just see that opportunity again. There was the cross back. 1-0. Can Liverpool force a way back in? Remember, extra time and penalties could decide if it ends a draw. We're at Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow for another big tie. Championship against Premier League. Be sure to join us at 7:30 on JB Claret on this channel. And also live, providing we don't have extra time and penalties, we'll have the draw for the quarter-finals, the 6th round of the FA Cup. We'll have it live with Mark Chapman, former Burnley manager Chris Waddle, and Martin Keown, the former Arsenal defender. Yes, the ball forward from Fabinho. Now then, here's a chance now for Jones. Into Robertson, but Pedro reads the situation. He attempted to play that ball back to Curtis Jones. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. 5th round cup tie. And here's Barkley. It's 3 against 3 for a second or two. And Mount is making a terrific run to his left. And here's Mount into the penalty area. Just overran it a little bit. And then he back heels in into the path of Alonso. Alonso does well. Good control inside the Liverpool penalty area on the left-hand side. And here's Jorginho, who came on as a second-half substitute. We'll talk about JB Man in the match in a second or two. Here's Pedro now on the right-hand side for Chelsea. Trying to play a 1-2. That surely hit a hand there. Yes, well spotted, Chris Cameron, the referee. Chris Cameron, well spotted. It was a clear handball, in my opinion, by Adam Lallana. And Chris Cameron, good referee, saw that the arm was out. And I don't think there was much doubt about that. Could have got his hand out the way there, Adam Lallana. And in fairness to Lallana, he doesn't dispute the decision. 58.5 minutes almost played. 1-0 to Chelsea. They have a chance here from about 30 yards out, right of centre, to make it 2-0. And if they can get that second goal, boy, are they in dreamland. Liverpool with 2 big defeats in a week. Beating up Watford. But I still think we'll win the league anyway. Manchester United News says hello. Hello there to Manchester United News. Nice to have so many different people as well as our regulars as well. Anyway, 3-kick to Chelsea. Russ Brennan has got Manchester United on Thursday. His ties. The ball's chipped in there towards the penalty area from Mount. In it goes there towards Giroud. Couldn't turn there. He was surrounded by 3 red-shirted Liverpool defenders. And here's Sadio Mane. He's up against 5 defenders and he's pulled up. I think a muscle may have gone there and he's pulled up. Sadio Mane has pulled up. Whether or not he'll continue or not, he might need to get some of the old magic runs treatment here. Coming up towards the 60th minute. We'll talk about man of the match just now, in fact. We've got, in about 30 seconds time, we're going to open the vote for man of the match. All you've got to do is a supplementary award, and the winner wins a few Johnny Bonds. Or utterly worthless, I mean priceless. And of course, the winner is determined by the votes you make in the comment section. We'll tell you how to vote in a second. As the ball goes in, that's a free kick. That's going to be a foul. Meanwhile, Fabinho is, I think, being booked there for the challenge. Virgil van Dijk isn't happy. Liverpool are imploring the referee. I don't think there was much doubt that was a free kick. As we see again, Mount, well, did he get the ball? This is the question, crucial question. Did he get a touch on the ball? Touch and go, but he definitely trips Mount though. That's just about a free kick to me. I think the yellow card may have been a tad harsh from Mr. Cabinet, the referee. So what you do for man in the match, in the comments section, the live comments section to the right of the screen, you choose the name of the player you want to see win our supplementary award, and you hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM. It's important that you do that in order for your vote to count. Whoever has the most votes at the 90th minute mark of normal time wins our supplementary award. One of Manchester United news. One of my best friends is Caton, and he does videos for me. Good to have friends like that. Right, Chelsea have a free kick. Remember, the voting is now open for the JB man in the match, so start voting, please, guys. Name of the player, hashtag it JBMLTM, please. Right, we've got a three-man committee here. Free kick Chelsea, Mount, Barkley and Marcos Alonso. Mount right-footed, maybe Barkley with the right foot, Alonso on the left. It's dead central, about 28 yards from goal. Maybe 25 yards from goal. It's five-man Liverpool wall with a Chelsea player in front of it. Referee's happy that it's back to full 10 yards. It's going to be left here for Mount. Right foot over the wall and off the top of the crossbar and into the Matthew Harding standby for a goal kick. Good effort from Mason Mount. I think Adrian may have been beaten here. Right footed free kick. Got it up and over the wall. Good decoy run by Barkley. And Mount hit the top of the crossbar and goes zooming over the top for the goal kick. Adrian was beaten a mile as well. Just needed to be half an inch lower, and that was 2-0 Chelsea. Bit of goal at the Hawthorns in the second half. West Bromwich Albion 0, Newcastle 3, Almiron got 2, Lazaro's just made it 3. So West Brom's brave challenge is going to be over, I'm afraid, today at this fifth round stage. Lost out in a third round replay last year. You just basically go to the comment section and you just put the name of your player that you want to see win, and you hashtag it JBMLTM. So just in the live comment section, basically, just type it in, and that's all you've got to do for the vote to count. There's no polls or anything like that. I'm sure someone will set the standard for you. Anyway, I think Kepa would be certainly a candidate, because he's certainly played out of his skin already tonight. 4 or 5 magnificent saves. So Origi goes in for the high right-hand cross. It's not a penalty area, but he can't be found. That's the way you do it. You're also showing you how to do it. Pedro is his choice. Sammy's his real name, making Manchester United news. Here's Barkley running through the centre. He's running all the way on his own. And Barkley shoots with the right foot and finds the net. It's a brilliant, brilliant individual goal by Ross Barkley, who was a former Evertonian. And that has put Liverpool on the brink of a fifth round exit. 64 minutes gone. It's Chelsea 2, Liverpool 0. And Chelsea, dare I say it, have 1 foot in the FA Cup quarter-finals. And it's the man who's an Everton fan here, who played for Everton for so many years, Ross Barkley. What a sweet moment for him. Gets the ball 10 yards from inside his own half, runs through the centre of the park, And Ross Barkley with a smashing shot. It's a magnificent goal. One of the best goals I think we'll see in the FA Cup this season. Just running through the heart of that Liverpool defence. The goalkeeper diving towards his right. He can't get there. He's got absolutely no chance, and the camera's been knocked to the camera behind the goal has been absolutely knocked out. Almost punch drunk. But it's a terrific shot by Ross Barkley, as as Frank Lampard celebrates, and Chelsea are 2-0 up, and Liverpool, if they're going to stay in the cup, need 2 goals and some snookers if they're going to stay in the FA Cup now. They need 2 goals to force extra time, 3 outright. We've got man of the match, Kepa from Trevor, Fabinho for Liverpool. We've had another vote from Russ Burnham. I'm not sure who it was, but I'm sure we'll chase that up later. It might have been Pedro, in fact. I think it was Pedro's. So 3 votes, 3 votes, 3 for different players. So Pedro got a vote, Kepa's got a vote, and Fabinho's got a vote. Although I'm not sure what Fabinho has done really, but it's up to them. Yeah, that's right. So 2 votes for Kepa. Yeah, that's right. That's perfect. Well done. You're doing it right. That's fine. Name of the player, hashtag JBMLT. It doesn't matter if it's in block capitals either. It counts. Anyway, corner kick to Liverpool into the penalty area. Kepa's winning by 2 votes. 1 vote for Pedro and another for Fabinho. And here goes Pedro. He's cutting through. He was on in his own half as the ball was played. Pedro shoots. Oh, he's in it straight at Adrian. That was the chance to sink Liverpool. Good and proper. Knock him out of the FA Cup. And Pedro fluffed his lines. Credit to Adrian for keeping his feet there and narrowing the angle. Liverpool having to understandably push men forward. He wins it about halfway inside his own half. He must run about 70-80 yards with the ball. And because he's under pressure from the defender in the end, he's having to shoot a bit earlier than he would have liked. But even so, it should have been 3-0. Right, you can't. Right, well, Pedro's got 2 votes anyway. 3 votes now. He's winning 3-2 in the voting. Meanwhile, Andy Robertson and Liverpool are losing their discipline here and are losing their grip on or designs on trying to win this famous old cup. They haven't won it since 2006, remember. Whatever happens today, I think Liverpool will still come out top dogs. They've won. Remember, they were in 7 competitions to start with. I think going out the FA Cup could be the blessing they need, really, because it eases fixture congestion. They've got the Champions League still to play for, and that's not. And they're not out of that one by any means. Anfield in a couple of weeks Anfield will be buzzing for that one in a week or two's time. Thanks, Newcater, for your time, and I'll see you at. We'll see you for the Sheffield Wednesday game tomorrow. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, I hope. Right, the big guns are coming out for Liverpool. We're going to see James Milner and Bobby Firmino come on. And don't forget, Newcater, if you missed the. Obviously, you've got to go, but if you listen to the commentary back, you can also listen back. If you missed any of the action earlier and you joined us late, we do offer you a listen back service, so you can listen to the entire commentary archive, which is 4.5 years old. Nearly 250 full-length commentaries, and we have playlists as well, and you can listen to them at my YouTube channel at your own leisure if you'd like. And Sue does that when she's bored, and it sort of entertains her. For anyone who doesn't know, Sue Edges is a Liverpool supporter. She'll be a bit gutted tonight, I'm sure, but she's blind and relies on my commentaries nearly every week for a football fix. So we do a good service, and the blind get a raw deal when it comes to football commentary on mainstream radio. So I try and make it as very descriptive as I possibly can, and Sue enjoys it and appreciates what we do. Right, anyway, Liverpool side are 2-0 down, remember. Could have been 3 down a minute ago when Alonso got through, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, but he couldn't finish the job. Don't forget, we're at Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow. We're at Sheffield Wednesday against Manchester City. That's from Hillsborough. And if it doesn't go to extra time, then we'll have to draw at 10-10 for the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, sponsored, of course, by Emirates. It's Pedro who's winning the votes. 3 votes. Kepa's got 2. Jones and Origi are both coming off, and Milner and Firmino are both coming on now for Liverpool. Milner, in fact, has he taken the captain's armband? It's like as if he's taking the captain's armband. Right, anyway, 3 kick to Liverpool. They're 2-0 down. I was bored in my sleep. Well, here comes the 3 kick then. Can Liverpool get themselves back in there? Give Sue a smile, a bit of hope maybe. Not with shots like that, I'm afraid, from Joe Gomez with the right foot. 20 minutes to go. Liverpool 2-0 down. And the number 12 mashing wide as we see the opportunity there for Pedro. And that, well, I think Adrian made a bit of a meal of saving that, in fairness. But it's nice to see Frank Lampard smiling. He's not had too much to smile about in recent weeks, apart from the Tottenham result aside. We saw him cut up a long figure a week ago in that Champions League disaster, really, against Bayern Munich, when Serge Gnabry and Robert Lewandowski tore them apart with 3 magnificently taken away goals. Mount has just taken 1 for the team whilst I'm talking to you, or Giroud, sorry, has taken 1 for the team. In his meat and 2 veg, so to speak, as the ball comes into the penalty area, headed away there by Rudiger. Liverpool really haven't offered too much as far as the second half has gone. I don't think Arisa Balaga's had too many shots to save the Spa in the second half, but he made quite a number in the first half. Of course, if there is a tie for man of the match at the end, I will have a decisive vote. I'll tell you what, Pedro and Kepa would certainly be up there. They're certainly leading the voting at the moment. So if we get another vote for Kepa before the end of 90 minutes, I've got a little tricky decision to make. Right, anyway, 2-0 to Chelsea. We're in good control here, but Liverpool, you can't say they're out of it by any means. Cross comes in from the right. It's a poor cross, really. Out of play for a goal kick. Nico Williams, who impressed me against Everton, was okay against Shrewsbury in the 2 games there, but hasn't shown any real conviction tonight. What it will do is loosen the burden a little bit on Jurgen Klopp. It was always going to be a tough ask in 7 competitions, of course. They won the European Super Cup against Chelsea on penalties, you may remember. And they won the World Cup Championships in December. They're still in the European Cup with the second leg. Only 1-0 down against Atletico Madrid. And we know how Liverpool play in games at Anfield on nights like that. Remember Barcelona last year? One of the best games we've ever covered on the YouTube channel. Just because it was a special Anfield European night. Marnie fouled again. Free kick. But what it will do, and they're only a dozen points away from winning the league anyway. Right, if you don't need reminding already, let me remind you again. Sheffield Wednesday and Man City's our main commentary game. We'll just break off for a second because Giroud's in again behind the defenders. Giroud shoots and he's in the crossbar as it bounced over the line. The referee checks his watch, but it doesn't cross the line. We have goal line technology. Remember, the ball has to cross the line for it to count. We'll get confirmation from a replay from Hawkeye. Offside. And it'll go out for a goal kick anyway. Referee just allowing it to go on. That looked as if it bounced in, but Giroud denied. I'd like to have a look at Hawkeye just to see how close that was. First of all, there might have been a little... He was just about onside as the ball was played. Then he hits the left foot shot. Oh, not even close. I don't think we need Hawkeye there. It bounces before the line. So there's no doubt about that. No, it's praise indeed, Sue. It's the only time I think in 4.5 years of commentating, excluding England matches and Burnley games, where I've completely lost my voice at the end, or my voice has been so hoarse. It's certainly untrue. Quarter of an hour to go. Chelsea on course for the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Oh, Kepa, what was he doing there? Having to punch there. I think he could have caught that. But it's put some necessary pressure there on Chelsea. He could have caught that easily. It's a corner there that was needlessly conceded by the Chelsea keeper. Robertson from the left-hand side towards Virgil van Dijk. Mane will try and keep it in on the far side and succeeds. Mane has possession. Takes on the defender here, which is Mount. Gets the cross in and behind for a Liverpool corner. Chelsea do have the Indian side over Liverpool in cup ties. Remember the one in February 1997 at this same stage, or it might have been the 4th round. Liverpool were 2 up, you may remember. It was on Match of the Day, of course. Liverpool, and then Chelsea came with a 4-goal blast in the second half. Anyway, it's a 7th corner, and Liverpool waste that. Yeah, it was famous for a magnificent goal from Gianfranco Zola, which was a quite remarkable goal from the edge of the penalty area. Free kick against James Milner. And Russ was supposed to be doing a Rotherham reserves match against Mansfield tonight, but a Warthog picture, I think it's at the New York Stadium, has put pay to any hopes of him doing that. James Milner, meanwhile, for his challenge on the far side, has got himself a booking, as Chelsea were threatening to score a killer third. The season's not over for Liverpool. If they do go out tonight, it's not the end of the world. They've still, as I said, they've got the second leg to look forward to there, and you never know. Anfield on a European night, it always rocks. And remember, they only need just under a dozen points, maybe less, to win the league outright, and they will win the league outright. As Jorginho plays a nothing sort of ball-through ball, and it was taken away from the goalkeeper, taken there by Adrian, whose mistake has really cost them a first goal. Had no chance on the second goal. Made a bit of a half-hearted mess at saving the one-on-one, but he got away with it. Chelsea just playing a little bit of Harry Carey at the moment, and they've just got to show a bit of professionals' care here. They just can't afford to make mistakes. Remember, Liverpool are a team that if you give them a chance, they will punish. Arsenal already through to the draw tomorrow night. Winners at Portsmouth by 2-0 last night. Chelsea are 1 foot there. Newcastle certainly there. Not knowing, still 1-1 between Reading and Sheffield United. McGoldrick for Reading, for Sheffield United, and Puskás. That's a famous name, isn't it? With the equaliser for Reading. So at the moment, as things would stand, Chelsea will join their London neighbours Arsenal in the draw, along with Newcastle United, who haven't won the cup since 1955. Ward, Jackie Milburn and all that. The last major trophy was the first cup in the late 60s, 69. Bobby Moncur, the last Newcastle captain to lift a major trophy. Sheffield Wednesday, who haven't won the cup for a long time. Reached 2 finals in the last 50 years. 66 when they lost to Everton, having been 2-0 up, and then 93 as Pedro tries to go in there for a number 3, but couldn't control the ball. Manchester City, of course, the reigning cup holders, having beaten Watford for 6, and have just retained the Carabao Cup on Sunday with a very less than convincing performance against Aston Villa. Really make a game of it in the second half, and seem so close to taking that final to extra time. Great final to commentate on, albeit recorded, but you can listen to the whole match on the JB Claret YouTube channel if you so desire later on. Of course, you can listen to commentaries from 3 or 4 years ago. Over 250 full-length commentary games from 4 seasons, including one European champion, 20 games from the last European Championship, and of course we've got World Cup as well. We've got you fancy a little bit of World Cup 2018 nostalgia, we've got 23 games from that tournament as well, in full length as well. Some great games. And of course, we covered 5 of England's 6 games in that World Cup as well. 2 group games. That never to be forgotten night against Colombia, where Chris Whiteman did a magnificent job on commentary. We're going to see Mo Salah. Of course, I did the 2 quarter-finals and the semi-finals as well. And we did the third place match as well, and the World Cup final as well. If you fancy a bit of a World Cup theme, those are the games. And of course, we've had Burnley in Europe. We've had so many teams causing upsets in the cups as well. We also have several commentary playlists as well. Check out my playlists if you want to hear classic commentaries. Anyway, here come Liverpool, 2-0 down. Mo Salah has just come on the field, looking to try and add a bit of bite now into the well, certainly we have you on later this year. Hopefully Chris will be back and Trevor will be doing some presenting during the European Championships for us, and there'll be commentaries to boot as well. I hope he will as well. Oh, we'll have you back, Russ, with open arms, mate, don't you worry. Anyway, here's Azpilicueta now for Chelsea. Chip forward again. Russ will be an essential part of our Euro 2020 commentary team, along with Chris Whiteman, hopefully. It'll be nice to have him back on the channel, and of course Trevor. I'm looking to get Trevor as the main presenter as well as a commentator as well. I want to try and do as many commentaries. I want to try and do a few more commentaries. And presenting is okay, but we need an accomplished presenter. Trevor Lynham is just the man that we need, and I think he would be a great presenter. But I think he makes a great commentary. I think he'll do a good radio commentary as well. So we're looking to add to our commentary team and presenting team for Euro 2020. That's in the summer. You'll be able to hear quite a number of games on the live on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Not probably all 60 odd games of them. It will be too much for us to do, but certainly we'll look to do about 30 live matches from the tournament and follow England with interest as well. Hopefully Scotland will join them, and the Republic as well. Oh, you'll be back before the summer as well, because there'll be a few relegation tussles. Mike, whose side went through to the FA Cup draw on a comfortable win against Pompey yesterday. Socrates and Nikita got the goals. Van Dijk, 8 minutes to play. Liverpool needing a goal here. Robertson from the left hand side, plucked away by Azpilicueta. Eddie Nikita. Yeah, fantastic player. Talking you up as the new Ian Wright, actually. Anyway, here comes the corner. Can Liverpool make it a grandstand finish? As the ball comes into the area. Oh, and a header back. Wide of the target. It was Bobby Firmino with a header. Van Dijk was there too. 7 minutes to play. Chelsea has big stand. I'll go into the velvet bag for the draw for tomorrow night's quarter-final draw. Derby and Manchester United play on Thursday. That's live on Russ's own YouTube channel if you want to listen to that. He's certainly going to be a player. And like I said that Mike is coming to a bit of form as well, hasn't he? So you don't know. Anyway, we'll be coming off there at the end of the evening. As soon as the referee was for full time, we'll be off the air. But one thing's for certain, it's been a great night of good cup-tie football. We'll have it all. We'll do it all over again tomorrow night. As the ball comes forward, Minamino loses possession, and now here come Chelsea, and Gilmour has had a marvellous game at the centre of the midfield. Finds Ross Barkley, who's goal might have decided it now. The ex-Evertonian. How ironic that's going to be, really, in terms of the way it's been so far. Still Pedro leading the man of the match vote. Kepa has 2 votes. And yes, of course, Mike will be joining us as well. Mike as well did a good job with Russ on that Sheffield United Arsenal game earlier on in the season, and we'll certainly have him back before the end of the season too. Flag has stayed down, I think. Yes, it has. Here's Mount, it's on the area. Mount shoots over the top and into the Matthew Harding stand for a goal kick. I think he might have hit the top tier in row Z. It's 2-0 to Chelsea, remember, as the ball was played over the top. And I tell you what, VAR might have had a look at that if he had put that in the back of the net, but to no avail. Over the top it goes from Mason Mount, left-footed effort, and it still remains 2-0 to Chelsea. I think it was nearer the row Z of the bottom tier than the top tier. May have over-exaggerated that a little bit there, guys. Right, 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Liverpool have already won potentially 3 trophies because they're going to win the league come May. There's no doubt about that. Maybe come April. They only need about 10 points, maybe a dozen, to make that a reality. First time since 1990 if they manage it, which I'm sure they will. But please not against Burnley. A 44 match unbeaten streak was over. It was a humiliating defeat in lots of ways against Watford because they just didn't turn up. But sometimes I think when you've gone so many games unbeaten, it can lead to complacency, and this is what's happened now in the last couple of games. Here goes Giroud's on the area. Giroud shoots, deflected into the side net, and it will be a Chelsea corner with 4 minutes to go. And Chelsea still in a very comfortable position, look like joining their London neighbours Arsenal in the draw for the quarter-finals, which take place tomorrow after the Sheffield Wednesday Manchester City game. Live commentary of that on the YouTube channel, on this one. And we'll have the draw afterwards live as well with Mark Chapman, Chris Waddle, and former Arsenal defender Martin Keown. 3.5 minutes left. Chelsea have a corner on the far side. The game live. Here comes the corner towards the near post, and dear me, a bit more of a sturdier flick. That man who 3-0 as Asper Cove as well. Both are fresh legs on the prowl. It's forward. There's another Chelsea player gone now. Remember, they've got 2 players taken off. That was Kovacic at the start and Willian, and now we've got a 3rd man down. It looks like Antonio Rudiger, unless he's gone down with some cramp. I'm not quite certain. Billy Gilmore's the BBC choice for man of the match. I have to say, Billy Gilmore's been a bit overlooked by us tonight. He's had a decent game tonight, so I'm going to give Billy Gilmore a very special mention. I think he's done really well today, and a young lad, not even 18, 19 years old, and yet he did well. You look at somebody like, he could be like somebody like Phil Foden is now at Manchester City. I mean, he put in a virtuoso performance at Wembley on Sunday, that Carabao final, where he just ran himself ragged and absolutely tore Aston Villa apart, certainly in the final third. And he showed some really good mature touches on the ball. He was so good, and I'm not over exaggerating, he could be an England star of the future, and certainly a City star of the future. I think he's good enough to replace David Silva in that Manchester City lineup once David Silva leaves in the summer. Well, we've got 2 minutes left of this cup tie, and not that I want to depress Sue enough, but I think this is even beyond Liverpool here. They just haven't shown enough, I think, in the final third. Klopp's had to rotate. Maybe the rest hasn't done him good. They shot themselves in the foot by complaining about the amount of games. Maybe if they just not complained and gone on with it, who knows. There's been a goal at the game at the Hawthorns. We'll tell you about that in a second. As Liverpool come charging forward. Here's Pedro. He's had a great night. Oh dear me, he just stands on the ball then. Yeah, it could have been 3 or 4 tonight for Chelsea, but having said that, they did have a good spell, Liverpool, and Arisa Balaga made 5 glorious saves in the one attack. And Bobby Firmino coming up towards Sean Massey's face. I think he'd do well just to not do that. She's a lady. Give her some respect, Bobby Firmino. One's out. Who actually scored a brace at Bournemouth in the week. We're going to see Reece James now for the last 30 seconds. Plus stoppage time. 4 added minutes, I'm told. My half friend, Russ Vernon. And Pedro, who, as things stand, will be our man in the match. He's going to get a standing ovation. Reece James comes on in his place. We've played the 90 minutes. We're going to have 4 added minutes, I'm told. And we'll get confirmation on my monitor. And there it is, 4 added minutes it is. But it's just purely playing out the motions now. Still 1-1 between Reading and Sheffield United. After we come off air in about 4 minutes from now, you'll be able to keep abreast with that on Facebook. And of course on BBC iPlayer, the other games that are taking place. But at the moment it's Chelsea going through to the 5th round of the FA Cup, sponsored of course by Emirates. Tomorrow we've got Sheffield Wednesday up against Manchester City for you from Hillsborough. So we're going to be in the Steel City tomorrow evening. And our man in the match, as Russ quite rightly says, has gone to Pedro, 3 votes. Kepa was very unlucky there. On another day he might have got the award. And that's the way it is. And thank you. We've got another great statistics. And here's a little stat for you that's just popped up on my monitor. Liverpool's last shot on target was way back in minute number 31 of this game. That's how long it's been without a shot on target. Well, we've played a minute and 40 of the 4 minutes. I think Liverpool, if they haven't had a shot on goal since the 31st minute, when Arisa Balaga made all those saves, Milner's corner here from the near side, left hand side. Chance here from Robertson to dig out across. It's too far over. It's been kept alive. And a Liverpool corner. We've played 2 of the 4 minutes. They need 2 goals. And I suspect plenty of snookers here. Chelsea are going into the quarterfinals as big stand. It will take a monumental effort from Liverpool standards to come and nick 2 goals. Here's Van Dijk going for the corner from the far side, and then Salah miscues it, the former Chelsea player. And then a recent Braga again, a little bit question marks about his potential catching or punching. Liverpool still applying pressure though. One thing you guarantee for Liverpool, regardless of the scoreline, their fate tonight, they've not gone down without a fight. They've tried and tried. You can't say they've not tried tonight. They haven't been at their best, and it could have been more for Chelsea tonight. Let's not make any song and dance and fuss about it. But one thing you can't say is that Liverpool don't try, because they do try. And they tried in the second half, but just haven't found that quality, I believe, in the final third. Maybe Klopp went a little bit too weak with his side. But the season's not dead and buried for Liverpool by no any means. They're still in the European Cup. They're still at least 12 points away from winning the Premier League for the first time in their history. And of course, they've had their first top flight title since way back in 1990. Chelsea player got down. 20 seconds to go of the game. And a game that we've really enjoyed here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Pedro's our man of the match. Virgil van Dijk's going to get himself, I think, a caution card. Or is it Sadio Mane? It's Sadio Mane, in fact, for the foul. And Mane, if he's not careful, might talk himself into getting the red card. We've played 4 minutes now. 2-0 Chelsea it is. who are going one step closer to Wembley. Liverpool out of the cup, but still very much involved in 2 competitions, which might just ease the pressure and a little bit of burden on Jurgen Klopp. There goes the whistle to huge cheers here at Stamford Bridge. Frank Lampard has just pulled off a real result here. 2-0 winners, Chelsea against Liverpool. The goals, one either side of our time. Willian got the first one after a mistake by Adrian, and then Barkley around about the hour mark, smashing a right foot shot into the net. They could have made it 3 towards the end when Pedro went 1-on-1. But having said that, Chelsea were very dominant, especially second half, and kept Liverpool very much at bay. Now, Reza Balaga's series of saves in one attack throughout that first half was amazing. So Chelsea through, Willian after 13 minutes, Barkley after 64. It's Chelsea who go through to the next round of the FA Cup. The draw for that comes up tomorrow evening. And a very happy Frank Lampard there. Disappointment there for Virgil van Dijk. It's Reading 1, Sheffield United 1. That's still at the swing stand going to extra time unless there's a goal in the next 10 minutes or so there. And West Brom 1, Newcastle 3. Should be Newcastle going through there if it goes that way. Frank Lampard, a very happy man. It's been an amazing performance really from Chelsea tonight. We saw what a difference a week makes for Chelsea. A week ago when we last featured them live on the JB Claret YouTube channel, they were poor, they were turgid, they looked out of sorts against the Bayern Munich side who just tore them apart. None of that tonight. They were just absolutely superb. They knew that this was their last chance of silverware and they played like they wanted it more. Liverpool just could not cope with them, and it was Chelsea's boys have become men tonight. There's no doubt about that. They go into the draw for the 5th round of the FA Cup, sponsored by Emirates. And that is the way it is. We're going to leave you now in a second or two. And we might get an interview beforehand. But just to remind you that we're just going to get a quick interview before we go.
You out there tonight? Yeah, brilliant today. Massive result for the lads. After 2 disappointing results, we needed the top performance at home today, and it was a great team performance and great clean sheet as well.
Billy, for you as well, your manager said to me before the game that it was a comfortable choice picking you, and you certainly look comfortable out there.
Yeah, it was a good match, so it was. Been training very hard to get that chance, and today I stepped up, took my opportunity, and great game and great victory.
We've got the guys in the studio, Alan Shearer, Gary Lineker, Ian Wright, all purring about you, saying how impressive you were, particularly in that first half. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, they're top players, so they were in the game. For them to say they found the comments is really amazing for me, but now I need to keep pushing on and keep doing what I'm doing.
Ross, how...
Yeah, just a little snippet there of the interview with Ross Barkley and Billy Gilmore, who was the television man of the match. Our man of the match goes to Pedro. Thank you very much to Russ, to Mike, to Trevor, to Sue, to all the other ones and the new subscribers, our friends in New York, Nuke Caton earlier on. You've all been magnificent, and we hope to see you all tomorrow night for another cracking cup tie at Hillsborough between Sheffield Wednesday and Manchester City, live at 7:30 here on this very channel. I look forward to your company then, plus the draw for the quarterfinals of the Emirates FA Cup. This cup season is starting to really hot up here. Remember, at the moment, it's Reading 1, Sheffield United 1, West Brom 0, Newcastle 3. You could hear that now elsewhere. Thank you very much to everyone who's joined me, and that's it from me. So tomorrow, here at over at Hillsborough on the JB Clark YouTube channel, as I get ready to hop up the M1 to the Steel City. Have a fantastic evening. Take care. And with the news that Chelsea have knocked Liverpool out 2-0 and have opened up the FA Cup now for everyone. They joined Arsenal in the quarter-final draw. From me, JB, at Stamford Bridge, it's good night.